Hello, everyone. I am Ward Anderson.
And Ward Anderson.
Ward Anderson, right in the house.
Ward Anderson, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Shannon, Groundhog's Day has come and gone, and whether or not there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter, and you believe our furry friends, it depends on which one you believe. Canada's groundhogs are about a 50-50 split, but I can tell you there's going to be at least 6 more days of winter coming, and it's going to be a messy Monday. We do have this system coming in that's bringing with it snow and rain and freezing rain as well. That's going to start coming through earliest hours of Monday morning, affecting your morning commute, your afternoon commute, and your evening commute as well. That's going to continue throughout the day. Now, you see this line here. In some places we're talking about snow, and in some places we're talking about rain. We're unsure of exactly where that line falls, but generally, for the most part, we're talking about snow in the further north and to the east elevations, with rain the further south we go. Not a lot of snow, talking about 5 to 15 centimeters in some places, maybe over by our nation's capital. Less so around the Golden Horseshoe, of course, but mostly going to be looking at rain in that area. And I do talk, of course, about freezing rain, something very important to be aware of, because this is something that's going to be affecting your morning commute, your afternoon, and your evening commute, as well as hard fog with not a lot of visibility. I'll tell you more about that in the long term coming up. Well, Sebastian, I know that I'm not alone in that I woke up this morning to a winter wonderland outside my house. Snow really did come down, and throughout Ontario, many of us woke up to as much as 16 centimeters of snow in Kitchener and as much as 15 around the GTA as well. Well, we're going to get a break from that for a couple of days. Not going to have some snow, but we do have couple of possibilities coming in, a messy system coming through. When and where exactly, there's more to come on that. But as far as Monday goes, little lake effect snow going to continue around the bay in the usual areas, Cottage Country, Barrie, places like that. But for the most part, we're going to be staying clear of any precipitation or snow in the GTA and around the area for the next couple of days. Like I said, because of that lake effect snow, we will get some of those bands that'll come down and hit us here and there, but we're not talking about any kind of a major event or any major snow. Through Tuesday, looking at it being heavier around Barrie, Orillia, places like that closer to the bay, but we should stay pretty dry until midweek when another messier system is going to be coming through. I'll tell you more about that in the long range forecast coming up. Yeah, Natalie, everyone's going to be waking up Monday morning thinking it's winter and that we didn't just finish the first weekend of spring. Temperatures overnight feeling as cold as they are. It's feeling like winter. We do have this messy clipper, this system coming through and moving its way east, bringing with it this wintry mix of snow, freezing rain, and rain that's going to continue throughout Sunday overnight, and it'll move its way east. And then we will still continue to have unsettled weather throughout Monday and into Tuesday. Like I said, most of the activity is coming through overnight, and you can see the further north we get, it's far more snow, and then the farther south we get, we're going more into freezing rain and rain territory there. But it's also along those places where we drive, even overnight, right? The 401, the 400, something to be aware of if you're going to be out driving overnight. By Monday morning, we have a snowy morning in our nation's capital, and then that will continue to move its way east. And you can see this unsettled weather that's going to continue with these bands of snow and freezing rain and rain continuing right up until Tuesday. So it's nothing we're not used to. It's that kind of March snow we get, 10 to 15 centimeters up in the northern elevation, northern parts of the province. Less so when we get down into southern Ontario, even only about 1 to 3 centimeters around the Golden Horseshoe, because it's really more of a rain event the further south we go. But it is going to have us enjoying a bit of a messy week as we continue getting into spring and getting ready for it. But it's not that unusual. We will be keeping our temperatures close to zero, but it will be getting warmer as we get closer to April. Spring is here. Soon it'll feel like it. Hi there, everybody. Ward Anderson here with your national forecast. Going into the long weekend, it's still pretty hot over in parts of the prairies, and then moving over into further over into eastern parts of Canada, into Ontario and into Atlantic Canada. Keeping an eye on the wildfire situation going on. We have 28 active wildfires still in British Columbia with 198 current for the year and 12 currently being battled in Alberta, 329 current for the year. We're going to keep you up to date on that situation as it continues. Of course, we've been talking about Manitoba here, 24 active wildfires as we speak, 13 active wildfires in Ontario, and there has also been evacuations in both areas. Something to keep into Atlantic Canada. Keeping an eye on the wildfire situation going on. We have 28 active wildfires still in British Columbia with 198 current for the year and 12 currently being battled in Alberta, 329 current for the year. We're going to keep you up to date on that situation as it continues. Of course, we've been talking about Manitoba here, 24 active wildfires as we speak, 13 active wildfires in Ontario, and there has also been evacuations in both areas. Something to keep informed of. Keep it here and we will let you know as that situation continues. But going into Thursday, the big talk has been this heat that we've had in Winnipeg. 37 degrees on May 13th, tying with their all-time high from 1980. Luckily, those temperatures are going to drop. We do want it to because of that wildfire situation, but there is that danger of some thunderstorms in the area. This system that is bubbling under right now, right at our border at southern Manitoba and southern Saskatchewan, this system is going to continue to bring heavy rain throughout Thursday and the risk of severe thunderstorms over there in southern Manitoba, talking about between Winnipeg and Winkler. That potential for non-severe thunderstorms will also continue to work its way throughout the east over into northern Ontario as well throughout Thursday. Low pressure in the prairies is going to have those temperatures cooling off, but it's going to have that rain moving east. There will also be rain throughout your Thursday in Alberta and over in BC. Not a major washout, nothing we're not used to, but rain will continue throughout Thursday right up through Sunday off and on, bringing with it about 10 to 20 millimeters over on Vancouver Island by Victoria, and you're looking at not a lot as we go further mainland, about 5 to 10 millimeters there. With the Alberta rain, we're not talking about anything close to a washout, looking at between 5 to 15 millimeters, 5 to 10 further south across that area. But temperatures will cool off a little bit, and Winnipeg going from, like I said just a few days ago, 37 degrees. By Saturday, it will go back down to single digits, looking at 6. Very cold there compared to that really hot where we were earlier in the week. And then as we go further east, well, we have man's best friend over in Birchie Bay, Newfoundland, sent to us by a user. Gorgeous view down on the water. Atlantic Canada will look quite nice today. For Thursday is the day to get out there when you can. Same thing goes for Ontario. Summer-like temperatures in Windsor all the way up to Toronto and southern Ontario today on your Thursday, but it's really overnight that we're looking at. Overnight Thursday, this system coming through going to bring with it some heavy rain and thunderstorm potential through southern Ontario, making its way all the way over to Quebec till a second system comes through Friday overnight through Saturday and Sunday, making its way east. That gives us this potential for severe thunderstorms in southern Ontario on Thursday. Non-severe thunderstorms the further we go east, but it could be some really heavy rain throughout that area on the weekend. And as we look over into Atlantic Canada, that system will make its way there Saturday and Sunday with temperatures cooling off and being a little wet on your long weekend. Keep it here on Canada's Weather Network. Hey everybody, I'm Ward Anderson and I am your Christmas guide today as we go all over Etobicoke to find out what do people in Etobicoke think about Christmas here as opposed to Christmas in Toronto. Let's find out. Come on. Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! No, that's a cop. That's a cop.
Etobicoke's more of like a geriatric neighborhood, so.
Well, over here it's nice and quiet. Hi, how are you?
And in Toronto they go, Merry Christmas!
Oh, yes.
It's a little bit more quiet than downtown, but overall.
I can't hear you. What's the biggest difference between Christmas in Etobicoke and Christmas in Toronto?
I feel like it's kind of similar.
What do you want for Christmas? Do you want one of these? Yeah? Can I have one? Very good. Gingerbread. Well, there you have it. It's quiet. it's relaxing, it's festive. So, on behalf of Yield, I'm Ward Anderson. Have a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year. I am your host. I am Ward Anderson. You nearly died. You had a liver transplant. You have a new lease on life. So maybe your humor isn't about feeling old because you feel renewed. I grew up as a child in the boom watching people like yourself doing comedy. I've studied it my whole life, and I go, this is the first time that I've noticed a boom of young comedians under 30.
And they're great.
There was always, yes, but there was always the occasional under 30 comic that broke through. Eddie Murphy was one of those. Damon Wayans was one of those. There were these people that did, but it was rare. Where, like I said, 51% of the music buying public is women. 51% of the public is women, right? 51% of the music buying industry is women. What if I told you that you're all still grossly underpaid compared to men? Does that surprise you to find that out?
No, it doesn't. The industry has had a long history of having women at the forefront, aesthetically kind of the face of the operation, the thing that is exploited to create and make money, and then everyone working behind the scenes, often who like travel and drink whiskey with each other. It's always been a boys' club, even in the technical part of it.
We hope you will come with us when we take the conversation off stage. Good night, everybody. And so I spent a lot of time on the floor reading this, you know, when I bought the new album. And of course, the difference was we did most of our listening in the car. You could put these into a little kit, put them in the car, and go driving down the road. And what do I want to listen to? I got my 15 cassette tapes right here.
But when you're manufacturing vinyl, and then the record label said,
And my friends, when the show is over, we always hope you join the conversation off stage. Good night. My first impression of the S90 is what an attractive vehicle it is. You know, it's a very sleek vehicle. One of the first things you notice about the Distillery District is the brick roads. Not a lot of traffic here. This is one of my favorite places to go, not just in the Distillery District, but in all of Toronto. We are at the Mill Street Brew Pub, one of the most exciting places to go any night of the week, right here in the Distillery District. If you are a lover of live theater like I am, then you're going to love the fact that right here in the Distillery District, they have the Young Center for the Performing Arts. I'm Ward Anderson. Thanks for hanging out with me.